Hello me handsomes. So today we are doing another What More Can I Do video. This one start as we normally do, not all the time but most of the time we do. We chuck the wings in a tray, get them roasted in the oven, nice crispy, get the meat falling off that bone. So in the tray, as we always do, good amount of oil, salt, pepper, in we go. Now this one is going to be a very rustic chicken, mushroom and cream pie. Really rustic, so I'm going to be doing a very quick, easy, basic short crust pastry to go with it. But as you can see, we're seasoned and we're ready to go in the oven. Now let's focus on the short crust because we need to get it made, get it in the fridge, get it set. So we've got our flour, we've got our butter, still quite cold because I tend to find it works, and we're just going to rub this in. So get your hands in there, just basically squeeze that butter, get it all mushed apart, mixing with the flour. And you're going to want to do that until you've got sort of what's like a biscuity looking crumb. So I've been doing it for a few minutes now and that's what it looks like. As you can see, still a few little lumps, but that's okay. That will all get mixed in quite easily. Now we're just going to go in with a little bit of milk just to bind it all together. You can use water, but I quite like to use milk. I tend to find it adds a little bit of extra flavour to it. And you're going to want to add that. And this is where it kind of, there's no exact science to it. You can see loads of recipes that will tell you add X amount, X, Y, add Y amount. But when it comes to it, you'll notice either the mixture is too wet, too dry, you have a play with it. So as you can see, I had a play with it. It's getting wet, but it's not quite where I want it. So we just need a little bit more milk in there. Not loads, because you'd be surprised how much liquid will be absorbed. But give that a mix. After a while, it will start to come together and you'll have to use your hand. But until then, I just like to use the spoon. I tend to find at this point it gets quite messy, so it protects your hand. Little tip is just use the one hand when you're mixing it. Then it's easier for yourself to sort of clean up. But we've had a mix for a few minutes and this is what we've got. A nice bit of short crust pastry there. So this one, just pop straight in the fridge. Let that cool for at least 30 minutes. Now, we get on with our filling. We've got our onion, which has been chopped up, mushroom, sliced, bacon, diced, and garlic and rosemary in there as well. With oil, get that on the hob, get that just sweating down. So we've sweated it for a few minutes now. As you can see, it's sort of starts to go soft, come together quite nicely. And obviously we're going to go in with that cream. Now you don't need loads of this because the cream will get absorbed by a lot of things. It will also go a bit thick as well. So we've not put loads in at this point, but get that on the heat once we've seasoned it. So a good amount of salt, pepper in there. And as you see, that cream is making its way around the pan. But get that back on the heat, get everything mixed together nicely, get all those flavours going. Taste, season, very important. So we've rolled out the pastry. This is the bottom layer. As you can see, nothing is perfect about this. There's lots of gaps, lots of cracks. Don't worry too much about that. This is just a really quick, really simple Sunday afternoon pie to make. So we've rolled it out there. We're going to put some baking paper in there and we're going to go in with some bacon beans as well. Now you don't have to use bacon beans. I know some people that use rice before, some use lentils, loads of different things you can use, but we have bacon beans, so we use bacon beans here. And this, we're just going to part cook that bottom layer of pastry because obviously once that creamy mixture goes in that, it will go very soggy, but at this point it's just letting it go quite dry, so when we add the liquid it doesn't turn to absolute mush. Here is our mixture. As you can see, it's still a little bit liquidy, but that's not to worry because we have got our chicken meat there. And we've just plonked that in as well. So this is our wing meat, of course. We have let it roast, we've let it go quite crispy, and we've just pulled that apart. So as you can see, that chicken is now absorbing up basically the last little bit of that cream. Really tasty, easy to make, simple, and that is pretty much ready to go. But we're just going to pop that back on the hob for a little bit just to keep it warm. And there is the pastry. So it's been part baked. As you can see, it does shrink back, so be a bit careful with that. Carefully take the baking beans out because they have just been in the oven at a very high temperature. So as you can see, look, the pastry isn't perfect. It's shrunk back, there's cracks, there's gaps still, but that's fine, we can fix that. We'll put the mixture in and we will get the lid put on there. Once the lid is on there, we can maneuver that a little bit to cover those gaps and cracks. Now, I just like to give it a gentle little poke at the bottom at this point, just to allow some air to escape and allow also some of that mixture just to be involved in the pastry as well. Now, this is a really simple one. It won't look perfect. You can make it look a bit better. Baking has never been my forte, but you can play around with this as much as you want. You can have whatever decorations, you can have whatever fillings you want as well. I've just done a sort of classic onion, chicken, mushroom, smoky bacon to it, bit of rosemary, really nice, really delicious. So we've got a perfect amount of mixture, I was quite happy to say. That's pretty much all the mixture there. So it fit quite perfectly into the pie. And of course then we need to sort out the lid. So that other bit of pastry you have, get that sort of rolled out to what you're happy with. And of course at this point, for some extra flavour, we're going to add some black onion seeds. As you know, I'm a massive fan of these. I think they add so much flavour. And we go in with our lid. Now this is the point where we can press it down, find any of those gaps and get them involved. And once you're happy, poke a few holes, let some of the air escape, otherwise we could be in a little bit of trouble later on. Go in with some of the black seeds, and of course you can egg wash this if you want to. I did. And this is the result. As you can see, it looked perfect, but was bloody delicious. Really good. Really easy, tasty, quite fun to do on a Sunday afternoon as well, and it's something a little bit different than a Sunday roast. Or, and I've done it before where I've used it on a Monday, so after I've made that roast, what was left over, I've just chucked all that in there. It doesn't have to be chicken wings, but this is a wings channel, and as you can see, there's our mixture there. Delicious, lovely, give it a go. So for watching, take care.